Yo, what's up, guys? Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to momentum number. Gosh, I don't even know what number this is. 158 or something. It is super late on a Friday night. Hell, it is 11:30 p.m. in Arizona time. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm coming to you guys a little bit later. I got a huge announcement. It's something I got to get off my chest today. I'm excited to talk about this before I go to bed tonight. It's been a crazy day. My wife actually left today. She flew out to San Francisco to go to a Taylor Swift, not even a Taylor Swift concert, but a Taylor Swift like a pre-event thing. I don't even know, but it's just me and the baby here. So baby's sleeping. Got to come live real quick. So guys, I'm excited to do this. I don't know. I want to tell you guys a little bit about, I guess, how I got started and why August is an important month for me. I got started in wholesaling in 2019. I was doing a little bit of both, right? So I was a traditional agent. I was doing listings in like January, February was really when I started to ramp up my traditional real estate business, taking on more listings. I quickly realized that, if you guys have in the real estate space, the traditional real estate space, kudos to you, man, because I quickly realized that that was not what I wanted to do forever. Okay. It wasn't, it was rough. Like, I don't know. Some people enjoy it, right? I'm not going to knock being an agent. I just still have my license. I just don't do any listings or, even when family members come want to sell their house, like, yo, I can help you. I can connect you with someone that can help. But I'm the worst agent on the face of the planet. And I'll say it right now. I'm the worst, mainly because I hate paperwork. And that's a big part of being an agent is making sure you're doing everything up, having a transaction coordinator, doing all the paperwork. I'm the kind of person like, I want to get a deal. Let's go make it happen. Okay, great. Now, how can I move on to the next? How can I help someone else? Not to say you guys can see the issue here, right? So I went from literally 0 listings to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So taking on the same stuff that I do for wholesaling, I did it for agents. I like being an agent, and I quickly realized it's not what I wanted to do. So up to this point, I've been doing property appraisals. So I was doing appraisals and being a real estate agent, but I wanted some commission, right? I wanted to make some real money. I quickly realized that, being an agent was not my thing. Come May, I shut everything down. So just a short period of time, ramping everything up. I quickly realized I was unhappy, right? So I didn't care how much money it was in it, but I realized that I was just super unhappy being an agent at that level, right? It wasn't for me. It is for a lot of people. But I also knew that there was other ways to be in the real estate business. And I wanted to be an agent simply because I wanted to buy properties. I wanted to be an investor. And I looked at wholesaling as like, okay, my good friend Cody is doing wholesaling. He's making a good amount of money and he's not having to do listings. He's not having to fight for his commission for 3% when everyone wants to do a flat rate of $1,000. That seems a lot more promising to me. So I shut everything down. My wife and we went on a vacation, right? And I came back. I'm like, okay, I'm hit the ground running. So I still have, I don't know if I have the journal in here, but I still have the journal where I wrote down that I wanted to get started in wholesaling. It was like, it was like July 28th. I'm like going all in wholesaling. This is just in 2019. So barely 2 years ago. So starting August 1st, I started door knocking. I realized like my resources, I didn't have a ton of resources. So had to use a resource that I did have, which was time. So I was out, I started door knocking pre-foreclosures, and long story short, went from door knocking pre-foreclosures, getting my first deal within a little over 2.5 weeks. Cody actually helped me comp it at the time. And I brought it to them. We JV'd. I made like 12 grand. And then it was kind of just off to the races. Obviously, it was like a roller coaster ride, getting that momentum and keeping it going. But, here we are. So August is a month where I always look back and say, I'm super grateful for how much has happened in a short period of time. But I'm also always trying to figure out that next thing. Guys, if you're watching this, you probably know Zero to Hero. We wrapped that up. We started at the end of June, and it went for 3 weeks until like the middle of July. So we wrapped that up. It was basically 3 weeks of us starting a business from scratch, literally from nothing. But I did have money to spend, so we outsourced. We got virtual assistants. We did this whole thing, right? We built out a business. We even got deals, and we're probably going to get one of the leads that came in even after the challenge. We're getting a $42,500 assignment for one of those leads that came in from what we did during the Zero to Hero. So we got multiple contracts, And I know the people that followed us along live are getting great feedback. Say, Matt, actually, I read one tonight from Chris. Chris, if you're watching, brother, super proud of you, man. That's awesome. Chris followed along during the Zero to Hero, and he got like immediate results. He locked up a property for 33, and he's got an offer on the table for 100. It's a $67,000 split. That's crazy, right? But this stuff is easy, as simple once you see how it's sequential and doing just step by step by step by step. So that was the goal of Zero to Hero. I feel like we accomplished our goal. We did pretty good, but I'm always thinking, okay, what's the next thing, right? We talked about season 2. That's going to piggyback on the back of season 1. So everyone who gets season 1 can, if they take action on season 1, then they can be a part of season 2. But one thing that has happened in the past 2 years was when I hit the ground running, so a lot of pre-foreclosures, I didn't have the money at the time. I was locking up. I went from one contract in August, one contract in September, one contract in October, to 17 contracts in November, right? And of those 17, this was early on in Sub 2. This was before there was a Sub 2 mentorship. I did, of the 17 deals, like 12 of them were subject to. So I got pretty good at pitching subject to. Help, this house that I'm living in, this was one of those houses that I was in November that year. This is a subject to house that I'm living in. So what I didn't do up to this point, where I didn't get into the cash flow game. I didn't get into actually acquiring properties. So in the past 2 years, I would contract a bunch of sub 2s and I'd assign them out, right? Here you go, here you go, here you go. And now I'm kicking myself being like, you have the skills, you know how to contract these properties. You got so caught up in getting the wholesales. Now I've been doing fix and flips with Cody and Pace because we're now business partners. We've been doing fix and flips all year, but I'm always thinking like, okay, what's the next thing? I don't personally have any rentals other than the house that I live in sub 2. That's it. Right. And I'm also looking at the taxes. Like, this year is going to be a good year to start acquiring some rentals so we can do forced appreciation. You guys watching, do you know forced appreciation? How to do that with cost segregation, with, getting that done with your CPA so you can save money on taxes? Like, one property with forced appreciation, one property, average price point like 300,000. If you do forced appreciation, now it doesn't remove your taxes, it defers it. So your idea is the properties that you do this with, you want to hold on forever. Like, you don't want to sell them because you'd have to recapture the taxes. It's a whole different conversation than what we're going into today. But ultimately, if you can acquire a property at about $300,000 in value using forced appreciation, you're looking at like a $60,000 to $70,000 tax write-off. Huge, huge. So that's $60,000 to $70,000 in tax savings. Like, you don't need that many to basically take your taxes to zero. So what I'm looking at is Matt doesn't have any rentals, not the iCash flow personally, just me, right? We've been doing fix and flips. We have an awesome operating wholesale business. We show people how to operate and set up their wholesale business. I talk to you guys about it all the time because that business is doing really well. But now it's time to say, okay, we're in like a Midwest market to acquire properties just with cash, but I don't have anything in Arizona. And I'm like, this is the next thing. I would love your guys' perspective on this, but would you guys be down? I feel like the next challenge should be me going from no rentals here in Arizona or anywhere that is just mine, going from no rentals. Again, I'd sold all of my deals up to this point. I sold all my sub 2s early on, going from nothing to seeing how many we can get by the end of the year. I can document it just like we did with Zero to Hero. I can do live seller calls and I can record them, right? I can do all those things. So I can, like, every single day I can set time aside to prospect. I can start it from scratch, basically saying now, because the challenge is, and what you guys are going to see when you watch Zero to Hero, which I hope you guys are on the waiting list. If you're not on the waiting list, go to zerotoherorei.com. You're going to see that it's going to lay the foundation for your business. It's going to lay the foundation of, now you have leads coming in, right? You have this conveyor belt. It's going to turn into how can you convert? How can you convert? How can you convert? And wholesale can't always be the always be the answer, right? Having multiple tools in your tool belt, that is why you're in sub two. I mean, I guess my unfair advantage in this challenge would be that I already know how to pitch sub two. I've contracted plenty of sub twos. I've never contracted personally a seller carry. So, I mean, I know how to pitch it. I know how to do it, but I have never, typically when a seller carry deal comes our way, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to say, you know what? Pace, knock this one out. Right? That's just how it goes. But I want to do it. I want to show you guys someone who doesn't have the experience of doing seller carries or structuring creative deals non-sub two. I'll show you that anyone can do it. And it's actually pretty simple. Once you set up the foundation, you have your conveyor belt running. Wholesale is amazing because it creates that liquid cash for your business, because we all need liquid cash to keep it growing, right? We don't want to just have, well, for us example, like we don't want to just have this the base business. Like we want to continue to grow that thing. We don't want to do just 2 deals. We want to do 5. We don't want to do 5. We want to do 10. We want to do 10. We do 20, right? So you need liquid cash to do that, to continue to grow and make your payroll and pay all the people within your business and people get commission. You need, wholesale is definitely a foundation. But to maximize those other opportunities, typically I'll say, okay, yeah, sales team, this is what we'll do. Boom, this is how you do it. This is the deal that we want to structure. Good luck. I want you guys to go knock it out. And they'll go do their thing, right? But Matt's not making those sales calls anymore, right? I've trained a sales team to be able to do that. But I'm like, well, if someone's going to make a push before the end of the year, I can't rely on anyone else. It needs to be me, because I want to save some money on taxes. We got money set aside in a tax hold account. I want that to be like a sweet Christmas bonus, because I've acquired enough properties to pay nothing in taxes. And I want to document the whole thing. I want to document from where the lead came from, what list it came from. Was this a cold calling lead? What kind of lead this was? Me calling the lead, going from warm opportunity, pitching terms, pitching creative deals. If it's a physical appointment, I'll bring a video guy. He can film me at the appointment. Maybe not of the seller, maybe just have the audio, but of course I'd tell the seller what we're doing. Or maybe we'll have the video. I don't know. But I'm thinking that we document the whole thing, going from absolutely no rentals to seeing how many we can get by the end of the year. I mean, I personally feel like I'd be shooting myself in the foot if I don't think I can get at least 2 a month to the end of the year. I'll show you guys how to pitch it, how to talk to the sellers, where the lead came from, the paperwork behind it, how we do the title work. Hell, how do I get the funding? Because when we do creative deals, there's money involved, right? You have your down payment, you have your note servicing, you have closing cost, you have any kind of commissions that you have to pay, you have renovations that you have to, if you need to renovate that property. So there's money that needs to be raised for your creative deals too. I'll show you guys how to do that. Do you think that would be cool? Just as like a challenge to do? If you guys think that would be dope, I would love to get your perspective, because I would obviously probably use this time on momentum instead of like talking about, talking about comping properties or doing live seller calls. It'll probably be me doing something for this particular challenge. So, I mean, I feel like you guys, personally, I feel like that would be pretty good value. I would love to get your perspective on it, but actually hearing real seller calls, actually seeing the business being done, because I think the challenge is always, there's so many meetups, there's so many people getting together right now of like, oh my gosh, yeah, let's go talk about deals. Let's go talk about real estate. And you go to these meetups and no one's doing deals in that room. Or maybe they've done one and that's all their experience they have. They're not actually doing transactions, right? You guys ever been in a room like that where people just talking about doing deals? Maybe they've done a couple, right? There's nothing you can get out of that. Nothing you can get out of that. So I think just actually doing the thing will be really cool. Number one, for me, selfishly, because I want some rentals, but I'm always thinking, I get this from Pace, because Pace talks about this all the time. It's like, how can I take the thing that I'm doing and then like accomplish like 4 or 5 different things off that one thing, right? So I think yes, I was just talking to Cody this earlier. I'm like, yeah, we need to acquire some rentals. Perfect. I can do the work to acquire the rentals, help the sales team, and I can just do it, and then we can document it, and we can put it all together just like we did the zero to hero, and that way you can follow it step by step. Because I feel like I'd really be kicking myself if I did this and didn't record it and didn't document it, because it just loses that fire after you're like, oh, well, you already have 10 rentals, so it's easy to go from 10 to 20, or you've already have 15 deals. Like, it's easy to go from that to acquiring 5 more, right? But I feel like if we're going from absolute nothing, me personally, Cody and Pace have their own stuff, but going from nothing to seeing if we can finish the year with like 6 to 8, I think that'd be dope. I think you guys will see probably even more just how real this business can be and how simple it is. And the cool thing is you can follow it step by step. So if you want to be a part of that, just put it in the comment section, because I'll probably reach out to you and give you guys a link, because we'd probably do it via AirMeet, just like we did last time for the zero to hero. I'm just like really early on putting this stuff together. I was just at the gym today. I'm thinking, okay, what's the next thing? August is here. Just 2 years ago, I was getting in my car every single morning, going to get coffee, calling my friend, hey, you want to go door knock with me? No, man, like I was really early, but maybe I can help you send some text messages. Perfect. Whatever. Do whatever you want to do. I'm going to go door knock. That was just 2 years ago. I was out hitting the pavement every single day. What I realize is consistency is everything. So, and the tough is also with that, it's like for 2 years straight, you're consistent. Like, you can't stop now. Like, this is how it is forever until you die. So like I just get like a new fire though. Every single August just reminds me of, dude, look how far you can go in a short period of time. And I promise you guys, if I can do it, I know for sure you can do it. I was literally in jeans and a shirt. Don't ask me why I was wearing jeans in the summertime in Arizona, knocking on doors, hitting anywhere from 25 to 30 doors a day. Got my first deal doing that. Got my second deal doing that. Got my third deal doing that. 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. They were all door knocking deals. That's what got me the momentum. And now it's time to take it to the next level, right? It's time to get out of just the transactional stuff. Obviously, one of the biggest things I talk about is outsourcing and time management. It's one of the videos I have coming out this week. I have been able to do that, from me going from door knocking to having an entire business ran by virtual assistants. That's awesome. But now as an investor, it's time to level up, right? I think we're always trying to push to that next thing. What's the next thing? Never satisfied, never satisfied. And I would love for you guys to follow along with me as we get some rental properties. And hopefully, like, the whole goal, like, this isn't a vanity project. This isn't something where it's like, oh, look at me get rentals. This is something where I want to document in the way that's super duper raw, so you guys see that there's nothing that special. And literally, you'll probably hear me say a lot of the same stuff on these calls when I talk to the sellers, but you'll get it, right? You'll see the framework that I go through, and hopefully you can apply that. Like, over the last 2 years, I've been blessed enough to be in the right rooms, get the right partners, hustle and get deals, make enough money to provide for my family, have awesome business partners, have awesome businesses, to where, I'm super duper grateful. So I've been able to check that box. And I feel like one of my biggest calling now, and this is the reason why I'm doing this YouTube video. It's the reason why we're on momentum number 158. It's the reason why I come live at 11:30 at night, is because I feel like my mission now is to help other folks check that box too, right? Because Pace and Cody, when I got started, they gave me some knowledge. I got to see deals getting done, and that ultimately gave me the confidence and the know-how to say, okay, I can go make this happen. So they helped me check my box. And then likewise, now it's time for me to reach out and say, how can I help you check yours? So it's not just coming live. It's not just talking about real estate. It's doing the thing and you realizing that I can do this too. So you can check that box, because then your job is down the road, if that's next month, next year, whenever that is, your job is to do the same. Your job is to help someone else check that box, right? Continually give. You'll quickly learn that that is the way to win here. So guys, I'm excited to do this. I don't know the exact start date. I can probably say Laura is finishing up a 2-week program next Friday. So it probably won't start next week. It may start the week after, but I'll keep you tuned here on this channel. So if you get any value from my videos, or if you want to follow me along doing this, just be sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because this is where I'm going to be going live. I used to go live on Instagram, but dude, they messed up the way that it was streaming to it. So now it's literally just Facebook and YouTube. So would love you guys to follow along, comment. The coolest thing that happened during the Zero to Hero was a lot of people were literally doing the things as I was doing them, and they were getting immediate results. So I was like, this stuff works. I'm not holding anything back and never holding any information back. Because the thing is, like, it was funny because I was talking to my very first mentor, and when I was an agent, I went and got lunch with him last week. And he was like, well, don't you think you're just training your competition? And I was like, number one, we put out so much information. A lot of folks don't realize, or they take it for granted. Like, oh, now I have all this information, I'm not going to do anything with it. It's so hard for folks to take action. Like, I can talk to them, I'm blue in the face. But do you think, like, how many folks actually go out and take action? A lot of you guys who are watching me right now actually do, because you're watching this shit. Sorry, you're watching this at midnight. So I know you guys that are here, you're making stuff happen, but a lot of folks don't. So I said, number one, that's the case. And number two, we have a community of collaboration, right? What happens if I get a deal that I can't sell? Who do I reach out to? I have a community. What happens if you guys have a deal and you need help selling it? You bring it to the community. So, like, we've been able, I feel like, to hack this real estate industry in a way that if we're all in it and we surround ourselves by good people that are making stuff happen, that are not just takers, but are also giving back to the community, we can't lose, guys. We absolutely can't lose. So yes, I want to come here. I want to come live. I want to share this information with you. I never, ever, that thought that he said never has crossed my mind one time. I'm never like, dude, I don't know. Should I hold this back? Like, should I not say this? Am I training my competent? Never have I ever. Again, going back to that idea of my box being checked, like, it just makes sense to me, because there's so much information. You guys can go everywhere, can go anywhere to get this stuff. But hopefully we can make it in a way that let's just give you the things that you need. Because I remember getting started, there was like, well, first off, no one really talked about door knocking. Everybody's like, oh, well, here's the software, here's RVMs, here's SMS, here's cold calling, here's all these things you need. You need to buy my direct mail. You need to get this software. I was like, dude, I can't afford all that. Like, what is the one thing that I can do? They keep talking about pre-foreclosures. Great. What's the cheapest way that I can talk to someone in pre-foreclosure? I can go knock on their door, right? So sequentially, guys, I'm never going to tell you stuff to do that I wouldn't do myself. And I would never say do these things and then leave like 5 steps out. Literally, if you follow me here, there's no reason why, if you guys, like, if you follow along these steps that we're going to be doing during this next challenge thing here, there's no reason why you can't get results too. Just literally doing the thing. Some of it's going to take some courage. Some of it's definitely going to take some patience. But the coolest thing about both of those things, it's only developed by doing them. So if you need to have courage, do the things that require you to, that require courage. If you need to have some patience, have leads in your pipeline that you can't quite close quite yet, but you're about 30 days out. Well, be patient, right? So follow me along. I mean, I would love to get your guys' feedback along the way. I want to see you guys getting deals too, but this is going to be an all-out sprint. Got 4 months to get as many rental properties as possible. I'm going to show you guys everything from getting the lead, to getting the contract, to getting it closed, to getting it rehabbed, to getting it rented out. The whole entire process. And then come mid-December, we'll have our CPA, his name's Dustin. We'll have him come on and see how much money we're going to save on taxes as like the final thing, right? You got this many rentals, Matt, hopefully more than one, right? So you got this many rentals. I'm positive I'll get more than one. But you have this many rentals, this is going to be your tax write-off. And I want to show you guys just how powerful this stuff is. So hopefully if you're following me along too, you're going to be saving a bunch in taxes as well. So super exciting. I had to come live. It's almost midnight. But guys, thanks for coming in. Brandon, bro, good to see you. Thanks for coming in and commenting on the video. Love it. It's late, guys. I love it. Yes, the new challenge would be amazing. Let's do it. Ben says, great idea. Reach out to me if you need anything and help. I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If nothing else, count me in. Ben, let's do it, man. It's so much more fun when we do it together. It's so much more fun when we have like folks just, again, you follow along, Ben, Brandon, you guys do these things with us as we go. So much more fun because it's like, hey, this stuff is working. Again, going back to what happened during the Zero to Hero with Eva, with Brandon, with this guy named Bob, like there was so, and that's just the three that comes to the top of my head. There's so many people that were taking action that are getting deals. So I know this will work. If you guys can bear with me, deal with me during the next 3 months of us doing this. But I think it would be really special if we can document it. Because so many folks, I feel like there's so many things out there where there's just like missing steps. Oh, do this. But yeah, so here is the lead. Oh, and here's the deal. We got the contract. You're like, well, there's a lot of stuff that happened here. What do you mean? Right? So my goal is not to leave anything out. My goal is to not leave anything out for you guys. Brandon says, I'm trying. Do I try as hard as most in this community? Probably not, but I recognize the weakness and I'm working on it every day. Yes, dude. Yes. Yes. That's the goal. Knowing yourself, knowing, hey, man, I can do better. And that's the exciting part. When you say, like, I can do more and I can do better, that's exciting because you're in control. You can say, okay, well, I've been working a couple hours a day on this business. I haven't been getting any more traction. What do I need to do to get traction? What is the one thing I can do to get more traction? Right? Being able to identify that, brother, it changes everything. So stick with me. Just do these simple things that I do, and I guarantee you guys are going to get some results. So this is the new challenge. I will announce on the channel at some point and on my Instagram, like when the actual start date will be, the air meet, and all that information. But I'm super stoked to share this with you guys. So it's almost midnight. Guys, thanks for coming in, commenting on the video, hanging out with me tonight. Just me and the baby here. So I'm going to try to get some rest because I know he's going to be waking up early. Appreciate you guys for coming and hanging out. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.